What is going on, everybody? This is it. This is the big one. We have been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and it is finally time to get it done because after a very pitiful January transfer window where literally all we did was loan out some youngsters and sell two of them for a couple of undisclosed fees, United are reportedly prepping for a big summer overhaul. We've seen a lot of stories, midfield this, big money names here, Anderson, Baleba, Wharton, all the stuff we're talking about. We've been talking about left-sided attackers. We've seen reports of Diamande, Yildiz, all these guys constantly linked to us. Then there are fullbacks, strikers, even center backs. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So it always seems like we've got a bit of a rebuild info, but that's our job today. That's Dylan and our job today. Dylan's going to jump in here in a second. We got $200 million to spend this summer. We're going to go through one by one, talk about our picks. I want to know your guys' thoughts as well. First, of course, we're going to start the news. So, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. We are on the road to 4K now because all of you legends got us there live during that watch along. So I think that with your help, we can get there before the end of the season. So like, subscribe. Let's dive in, guys. Nope, we lost Dylan for a second. There we go. Dylan's back.
I have no idea what's going on, why that keeps happening.
It's all good. It's Michigan internet. But guys, welcome. Dylan, how you doing, man? It's been a minute.
Doing all right,
Yeah.
man. And the sun finally came out. That's nice.
Yeah,
So
it's nice to be doing this and have it not be dark. I'm
yeah,
glad winter's kind
yeah,
of done and we're heading into spring. My sinuses don't like it, but I'm sure you're excited to get the
yeah.
golf clubs all prepped and ready to go, right?
Oh yeah. Some of my friends were already talking about a golf trip. So
Michiganders, man. I swear I saw people getting their golf clubs out last week when they were in like the low 50s, high 40s. You guys
mhm.
are crazy, man. But I know I tasked you with the same job that I had. You know, we both put on our director of football caps this week, and we both have a bit of a rebuild on our hands. 200 million was the amount to spend that we just to go ahead and overhaul Manchester United squad this summer, strengthen it, whatever you want to call it. Did you find that to be too much money? Did you find it to be not enough without any spoilers?
It was proud. It was. I think it was good. Just because we added in that some sales are going to come in, and so that helped get that number right. And honestly, there's a lot to work with.
Yeah.
And with that, if you're creative, if you target players that are going to fit the mold and are going to be the type that we're looking for. And so I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun doing it. So
Yeah, it's always fun to look at transfers, to think about, I tend to look at it from just like it's like you play pool, you and I play pool, like you don't just look at the next move. Sometimes the obvious move isn't maybe the best move. Sometimes you got to plan for like the next move. So in this case, maybe plan for the next summer and the next summer. So maybe holding off on spending a lot on one position this summer because maybe there's a better opportunity coming up next summer with contracts, with whatever. It's always a little fun, but as per usual, there are a few priorities for you and I as we go through this. But this is what happens when United, is in general, have priorities. It seems every single summer because they don't plan, they're not proactive. I mean, it's been like that for over a decade, but that's a conversation for another time. Word is we are going into the summer with 100 million flat budget, and then we're adding in fees for guys like Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, Andre Onana, maybe Xerxes as well. Hopefully, someone like Ugarte, hopefully Dallo in my case. And then you consider the money that we're going to be saving on wages from guys like Sancho, Casemiro, and maybe even Maguire. We'll see yet. So we've got a little money, but that's why, for argument's sake, we'll call it 200 million even. What a coincidence. That's what the video is called. So I put out a post last week asking for everyone's priorities, how they'd spend 200 million and whatnot. Dylan and I have our work cut out for us. Now, if you want, there are some little rules and allowances here. Things like if you sell a player, tell me you're going to sell a player, tell me how much you think you're going to get, and then that's how you use it. Things like that. But I do expect that if you sell a player, you've got a solution ready to go, because we can't just say like, oh, I want to sell Dallo and then maybe not get some sort of right back solution or something like that. I don't know. That's just an example, but But we've decided, I think, based on some of the reports from some journalists and whatnot, we decided maybe to start with five positions: center midfielders, fullbacks, left wings, strikers. Think you did the same thing. I've added a couple in there as well, so you guys can let me know. But we're gonna dive in. We're gonna camp out on some news first. Let me see who's in the chat though to start. Big up Danny B in the house. You know Danny's always ready for a like a
Danny,
transfer video. Anytime there's some scouting, anytime there's some transfers going on, Danny is in the house. So let's camp out on some news first and foremost, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Again, we are on the road to 4K. So let's start off with some news because I know you watched the match. What did you think of the match against Everton on Monday?
we so I was listening to the commentators at halftime and reading some things, and it was like it was very not necessarily shaky, but it was just frenetic. There's the good word. There's a lot of frenetic on the attack,
Mm,
and a lot of um, like stodgy defense, very organized in the first half. Because it seemed like after the first little bit, after the first part of the rush, where there were a couple of chances, we were trying to go for things. Like Bruno was really trying to get things going, and it wasn't working. And then you could tell he was starting to get frustrated
yeah.
that some of the runners weren't there, some of the passes weren't there. Um, and
What?
then the second half, kind of the same.
Oh, like getting
Go
frustrated.
ahead.
He was annoying me, shit out of me.
Oh yeah, it was not a good game for him, and you could see it was kind of like the old Bruno came out.
Yeah,
So, which is not necessarily the best thing, but I give credit to Carrick. It was the sub I wanted to make. I was like, Ahmad's just not getting it done on that right wing,
yeah,
moving Boom over there, and that ended up being the right thing. And how shout out to Sene Lamens. What
yeah,
a great performance in goal. Just
yeah.
statuesque, controlling the box. It was phenomenal. So kudos to him. I think he won man of the match too. So great job.
Yeah, he was Premier League man of the match, and it's funny that you mentioned Sen Lamens because goalkeeper performances like the one that Sen Lamens put on against Everton make us so glad that Andre Onana is no longer around. Make us so glad that Bindier is no
Mm-hmm.
longer starting. I mean, seriously, Andre Onana is the worst. Hang on though,
Yeah.
because according to Jamie Jackson, according to Jamie Jackson, Andre Onana wants to fight and reclaim his spot as Manchester United's number one at the end of his loan with Trabzonspor. And according to Jamie Jackson, Andre Onana somehow believes that he'll get his chance to do just that. Just like he believes he had a chance to go and ask Amorim for a raise in the summer.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
This to me screams of desperation. He's not doing great at Trabzonspor.
Did we
And so
expect anything
100% it
else?
feels like no, but I thought it would be more his speed and he'd look a little more confident. And,
He's a
I mean, he's
goalkeeper.
not he's doing better than he was here, but
I mean,
ugh,
it's hard to do worse.
yeah, but
Um,
there's no way he's gonna they're like you're gone, dude. Just you got to
yeah,
accept that. You got to
yeah.
go somewhere else.
He thinks he's got a shot. How about no, man? Do you guys remember this nonsense?
Oh, I hated that so much.
Somebody
Uh,
tell me we remember this nonsense.
I do.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. I cannot. I still get nightmares sometimes thinking about Andre Onana in net. Some of the you can go find some compilations on Twitter and whatnot if you
oh
want to
yeah.
see just how many mistakes he made and how many simple goals. I mean, he had so many howlers, man. It was embarrassing. But yeah,
Mhm.
no thanks, Andre Onana. You're done, bro. You had your 2 years. You cost us some Champions League matches. You cost us a lot of points. You made us.
Cost us a
I
lot of money.
yeah, I just don't get it. We paid a lot of money for him. I know he wasn't everyone's top pick. It was, and it's so weird because he had such a great Champions League with Inter the season prior to that. Obviously, like look at the numbers and stuff. He's the best keeper in that Champions League campaign. Um, but obviously, just could not. Another player who could not hang with the pressure of United, unfortunately.
It's a tough gig, and just because you can't handle it there doesn't mean you can't go to a different club and be good or acceptable, whatever you want to say. I think what he's trying to now do just by saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to compete for number one." I think he's like, "I'm going to go back. I want to prove to everybody I can do it." I'm like, dude, you had your chance.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't. No.
You wanted to prove to anyone you could do it. You don't go to the Turkish leagues. No offense to Turkish league fans and whatever. That's not the league to show everybody. If you're going to go to the
No.
Turkish league, you should have gone to like Galatasaray or someone who's actually in competitions that are tough and stuff. I
Exactly.
just don't think he. Yeah, I just don't. He crumbled under the pressure of United, like we've seen a lot of players do.
And it was, you could tell something was off that first friendly when he let that howler in, and we were like, what?
Yeah, I think a lot of United fans sort of just. I think a little pee came out of a lot of United fans in that moment
Oh yeah.
because it was we were like, oh, that's not good. And lo
Yep.
and behold, it was a bit of foreshadowing. But yeah, please know to to Andre Onana returning. He's done. If we can get 20-25 million for him, that will be a miracle. But
That seems excessive. I think.
speaking of keepers, there is a report from a Turkish outlet that I've never heard of before that United have reached an agreement with Besiktas for Altay Bayındır. Around 4.5 million is what I can't remember now off the top of my head what we paid for Bayındır. I should have looked that up before we started, but
It's about that. So I think it's a little bit more, but that's
so
about what we paid.
probably a wash at that point. But as a backup, he had like one decent performance. I think if I can remember, I don't even
That
remember what
Arsenal
it
Cup
was.
match.
Yep, that was it. And
Yep.
then since then, I mean, that Newcastle match was absolutely horrendous. Spurs in the Carabao Cup was just awful. Not great look. So yeah, we're gonna be hopefully getting rid of two keepers, which maybe that impacted your list. I don't know if that impacts everyone else's list. As we're going along, you guys, make sure to get in some of your picks as well. Let us know. So I'm going to ask you towards the end, once we got all the picks up, which one of us you think got the better summer overhaul? So we're gonna pit and no sitting on the fence. There's not gonna be oh, it's too close or both. It's either or. Someone's going home looking like a fool and the other one's looking like a winner, and that's how we do things in America. So in other news, the under 18s beat Derby County 6-1 this morning. Game was on MUTV at 8 a.m. 2 goals each for Bradbury, Ajayi, and JJ Gabriel. Ajayi and JJ Gabriel each had absolute screamers as well. I think that's JJ's 16th goal at the under 18s level now. Kai Rooney got some minutes as well. It's just the future looks positive with these guys, man. When JJ's ready in a couple
Oh,
years, it's going to be chef's kiss. You guys are going to see some. If you don't watch the academy, A, go watch the academy, but B, it's almost better in some ways because he's going to pop on and you're going to be like, who is this kid? So in a year or two, people are going to
the
be like, what is happening?
the attack is definitely something to look forward to with some of
Yeah.
the players that are coming through. So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Players getting back fit now. Abramov's back fit from his layoff. Nkoto, one of the Nkoto twins. We have another set of twins. The fourth pair of twins that we've had at United at some level. Can you name Can anyone name the other three set of twins?
We got the Fletchers, or you know, are they just
Fletchers.
brothers?
No, they're twins.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Okay, I'm trying to think. I can picture them now. Why
Get
can't I
involved in
think
the
of their
chat
name?
too if you know.
Uh, I can, one of them just came back not too long ago in the Champions League or Europa League, and they had a big like, what is
Do you
this?
need help?
Shouldn't be this hard. I was just looking at this the other day. Yeah,
Do you need help? So
as soon as you said,
I'm not going to give you the one you're looking for because I know the one you're looking for. I'm going to give you Will and Michael Keane. They are twins. They're not
okay,
identical
yeah,
twins, but they are twins. So that was the other two pair. Now there's one more pair. I know exactly the pair you're thinking of, and you just can't think of it. So
I I can picture
somebody,
both
somebody
their
help
faces.
Dylan. Somebody help Dylan out.
Oh
You can picture both faces because it's the same face.
yeah. Oh,
Big up, Jarvis. Good to see you again, my friend. We're trying to help Dylan think of the last pair of twins that had played for United. We've got Nkotos, who are in the academy. We've got the
yeah.
Keens and the Fletchers.
The
Dylan's
Fletchers.
struggling. I know exactly the one he's thinking of. He can't think of it. But let us know if you guys remember that final pair of twins to play for us.
Oh,
It is.
is it gonna
Go ahead.
either it's either gonna I'm gonna remember it or it's gonna when I see it I'm like I should have known that and I oh
They're
man
Brazilian. I'll give you that much.
yes
It doesn't help you though, does it?
it doesn't help
We used to call them Justin the third brother because Justin used to look just like them.
Hmm.
You ready? It's Rafael and Fabio da Silva. Big up Tim.
Oh,
Oh, Dylan. Dylan
that
failed.
hurts.
He failed his fandom today. Dylan,
That's 25% on the quiz,
you
guys.
made Sir Alex cry today, Dylan. I hope you're happy with
I did.
yourself.
I did.
All
I'm
right, let's
not.
jump in. But real quick, happy birthday to Park Ji Sung. It is his birthday today. So 3 lung sung.
Happy birthday.
Use all 3 lungs to blow out the candles, my friend. Um, all right.
Oh, gotta
So
gotta love me some Archie son.
do you remember Park? He was so good, man. He was
Oh,
an unsung hero and didn't. So let's dive in. We're gonna go. We're gonna let Dylan go, and then I'm gonna go, and then it's gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna do one at a time. We're gonna give our player. We're gonna back it up with why we want this player. We're gonna back it up with what we think this player is gonna cost, being realistic, not just based on what the rumors are, but being realistic, and then why we think that, and all that other stuff. So we're gonna start there. Let me get involved in the chat. Box, big up, box. Yo, 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 Jarvis, Tim, Danny B in the house, and everyone's like, get on with it, guys. Come on, we're here for the signings. You guys, like I said many times, you can't open the book of the stream and jump straight to the middle. We're storytellers here on Unitedverse, everybody. We got to build up the suspension. We got to take you on a journey emotionally, mentally, mathematically, grammatically, ecumenically, spiritually, all of it. Big up all the Pirates of the Caribbean fans out there. All right, Dylan. We're gonna start with your
that was
first
good,
pick.
by the way.
Thank you. You're welcome. We're gonna start with your first pick. Actually, technically, this is both of our first pick, and it's pretty obvious. So, you guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let us know what your picks are as we go along. Starting with number one for both of us. You guys kind of saw it coming. Mr. Elliot Anderson himself. You want to start with your rationale, and then I'll give mine.
I mean, part of me, and I wrote this down in the thing I said sent you. I'm like, do we really even need to talk about it? But no, he's as we've seen in the Premier League this year, and it like if we say he's giving an audition for a big club, he's passed every test. He's got grit. He solidifies the back line. He's got good tactical presence. He wins 86% of his duels. He averages 3 tackles a game, 8.46 recoveries. We've watched him start attacks. We've watched him chase down the ball on recoveries. We've watched him get in the box and be aggressive there. I mean, he is the complete midfielder that we've needed. He is the midfielder that could change the whole thing. He's the perfect replacement. If we would have had Casemiro a few years before he kind of like we ran him into the ground after that first season and this is what Elliot Anderson can do. And it's gonna, I really, part of me is really hoping Forrest go down, so so we can get him a little bit cheaper, um, and hopefully we can beat out City and some of the other ones. But man, he is the perfect one. This is going to be the transfer to watch because we know he's going.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. So I've just gotten some word in the live chat, in the WhatsApp group, that apparently YouTube is having issues right now with its live chat function. So YouTube was having
okay,
issues earlier as well. I was trying to pin some chat. So YouTube is apparently having issues today, you guys. So big up Tim getting involved in the WhatsApp group. Remember, you guys, membership starting 11 and Legends members can join the WhatsApp community as well. Because just because the stream ends doesn't mean the conversation has to. So hopefully YouTube can get that sorted. Maybe try refreshing your guys's stream. Maybe that will help. I don't know. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But big up Tim for letting us know. Yeah, Elliot Anderson. He's shown me some stuff this season that I didn't know that he had in his locker, similar to Cobby in that regard. Now, if you watched my stream a couple weeks back for Casemiro replacements, you might wonder why I didn't go for any of those options. But remember, I said many times last year, and even in that stream, that Elliot Anderson is my number one choice. Among central and defensive midfielders in the top 5 leagues, he's elite ball recovery volume, strong final third possession. I put this graphic up for you guys the other day when it comes to ball recoveries per 90 and passes into the final third per 90. Elliot Anderson is pretty much out there on his own. He's right in that top right corner is where you want to be. And these are two traits that clubs actively look for when they're looking for modern midfield profiles. He has won possession 232 times this season, nearly 100 times more than the next player on the list, Declan Rice. Now I know that 100 million is being kind of thrown around as a price. He's not going to cost 100 million. That's Declan Rice money. There's no way United pays 100 million. There's no way anyone else pays 100 million. And it's not that he's bad. He's no player right now. I don't see a player right now that's worth that much money. As good as he is, and as much as he's my top choice. I mean, if City wanted him, they would only pay like 65 million for him. Like that's just what City do. On paper, anyway. We'll get that caveat in there, but um, and Forest aren't far above relegation, which means he'll be even cheaper, in my opinion, if they do get relegated or if they're struggling. I do think that 80 million is probably what you're going to be looking at for Elliot Anderson. Again, give or take, you never know, but that's probably where you're sitting with Elliot Anderson. Possible backups for this as like backup options include guys I've listed before: Mamadou Sangare, Alex Scott. Even I like at Bournemouth. Felix Nemecha at Bournemouth. He didn't, or Dortmund. He didn't have a great game today though. Morton Holman, Alan Varela is another one. Manu Kone, or probably my next option is if we get Champions League, Newcastle don't get Champions League, and we find out early enough that Anderson maybe is going someplace else, go get Sandro Tonali. That'd probably be my backup option. But yeah, so far for both of us, he is our number one option. So I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what is going on in the YouTube issues right now when it comes to the live chat. I don't know why YouTube is having some weird issues. Don't know, guys. Sorry about that. Maybe try to close the chat itself and pop it back up. But so
I
you and
tried
me,
to do that on my phone and it didn't really do anything.
is it letting you type anything at
I
all?
don't know.
I
Let me
haven't done
check.
anything to it. Apparently, it's a
Just gonna
YouTube issue.
let me see. It's it. Let me text hello.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on,
Somebody's getting mad
guys.
about it. Sorry, I no idea why. Maybe YouTube is down today. Let me see. Let me type in is YouTube down today? That's like I feel like I've typed that so many issues right now. Um, YouTube could be down or having some issues. So it does sound like, yeah, I've seen a big spike right now. So sorry, guys, that's a YouTube issue. So, all right. So both of our number one picks, you can keep throwing all the emojis in you want to, though. So feel free to communicate via emoji. So let's go to Dylan's second pick since we both kind of go with this one. Dylan, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Now, you guys are going to think this is my pick. This is not my pick. This is Dylan's pick. Dylan, take it away. What do you got for us?
All right, so this one was hard because you guys know I love Ederson from Atlanta, but I don't. Number one, I don't think he's gonna go. Uh, he's going to be in our price range if we have other needs we're going to fill, and I think he's going to Atletico based on some things I've heard. And I had to be pragmatic with this, but I could have gone João Gomez. I looked at him too, but I don't. I'm not. If I'm the manager, I'm not moving Cobby back to have João Gomez start, and I don't think João Gomez is going to want to be like a squad player. I don't want to spend 40 million on him or 30 million, whatever. So Hayden Hackney would be, as we've talked about, would be perfect for him, especially if we could pair him with Anderson. Anderson be more the defensive block, Hackney being more offensively minded. Like as we see here, he's got 4 goals, 5 assists, helping Middlesbrough up in, looking for promotion. That's a big part of this too. He's got 63. He's created 63 chances, has 29 successful crosses, top percentages in the championship, and he's good defensively too. He wins 157 of his duels. He's made 56 tackles, and he's contributed well with 19 interceptions. And
Look at
with
you with the
Anderson,
numbers.
Fat Mob, man. He's got him and Anderson matched up together along with Cobby. That is a great midfield pairing. We can get Kone to come in eventually when he gets old enough, and just think about. I mean, just kind of think about that for the future of United in our midfield. The only issue is going to be if when Boro come up, because there's no way they're going to want to part with him.
Yeah.
Um, and so 30 million should be enough, but they may want more. And he may want to stick around. Now, he could probably push for that so that they could get more money. But but I would definitely go and look at him. We should have got him last year. But
Yeah,
We'll see what
we could have done with him. He's having a good season number wise. Sometimes I watch him and I watched him the other day, and instead of Champions League, and it didn't look like he was impacting the game a whole lot. But then when you look at the numbers at the end of the match, it was like he created the most chances. He had all
happens.
these long balls and all these tackles, and I'm like, I don't know what I was
And,
watching.
yeah, and again, if we stick with Carrick, he's another one that could learn a
Mhm.
lot from Carrick just about the midfield position. So
Yeah, and he's doing really well. I think if we played like a 4-3-3 and we had Anderson in the deep role with like Covey and Hackney, maybe they're just kind of a little free flowing in there. That would be great. And maybe Hackney to start, rotate. We'll see what happens. Maybe with Bruno leaves, maybe Covey moves to the front. Maybe he moves to a 10 or something. Who
yeah,
knows? But because Hackney is definitely more of a playmaker than a defensive minded midfielder, but he does get some defensive numbers in there. So good pick, you guys. Let us know what you think about Hackney for Dylan. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Want to know? I've got my second because we both kind of started with midfield and we both kind of added some depth in midfield. So there's Dylan. Any more to
yeah.
say on Hackney?
No. I was just taking a look at the chat, and unfortunately,
Oh yeah,
there's still a
YouTube
lot
live
of
chat's not working today. I just googled it; it's
yeah.
down. So
So
sorry, guys.
yeah, that's
Maybe they'll
odd.
get it. Maybe they'll get it sorted before we finish up, right? But we will have a poll for you later on once it's all said and done, so you guys can vote for who got it right and who got it completely wrong, and who deserves to go sit in shame in the corner. Dylan. All right, moving on. So here's my rotation option for midfield. I'm going to go with this Ugarte upgrade, someone we've been linked to recently, and this is Caleb Urenki at Nordjylland, 20-year-old Ghanaian. He is tearing it up right now in the Super League. And he's powerful. He's a good dribbler. He's press resistant. He drives forward with the ball. Excellent passing range, vision from deep lying in midfield areas, and he could score goals. He's got 2 goals, 5 assists in all comps this season. He's 5th in the league for assists right now in his first proper season. Brighton have been linked to him recently. They reportedly see him as the replacement for Carlos Baleba when he eventually leaves. Galatasaray were reportedly interested. And here's what I think. Let's let Galatasaray have Ugarte because they were linked with him for a while. Let them have him for a bargain. So then we go get a free run at Urenke before Brighton go get him. And then in 2 years, he costs, 100 million.
Mhm.
He's got a reported 20 million pound price tag. My thing is, we have to start identifying and taking a chance on these young players before they go to the Brightons, the Dortmunds, the Brentfords, and so on. And he's 20 years old. He's in a lower league. He will come in. He will rotate with our Casimir. He will be the Ugarte replacement, the one who's going to rotate, play some domestic cups, come on later on, maybe start a couple against like a newly promoted side or something here and there. That's what I want for this kid. We just got to start taking a chance. We missed out on guys like Caicedo. We missed out on guys like Declan Rice because we didn't want to take a chance when we could have got Caicedo for 5 million. We could have gotten Declan Rice for peanuts, but we thought he was too young. We're in a perfect position now to overhaul this midfield, and this kid could come in. Get him before Brighton does. Other options include Eric Martel, FC Cologne. He will be free this summer, but Cologne are trying to keep him. Also, with the future, the next window out in mind, keep an eye out for a lot of people who are entering the final year of their contract. I'm talking young guys like Nathan Ducat at Anderlecht, 17-year-old defensive midfielder entering the final year of his contract. So is Jord Timokio at Ajax, Martinelli at Fluminense, Sasa Lucic at Fulham will be entering the final year of his contract. He could be a really good kind of Ericsson option to kind of partner with Mainu as
Mhm.
well. Someone that I might be talking about later on in this week in Arthur Avam at FC Lorient as well. And again, Hayden Hackney entering the final year of his contract in the summer. That could have a lot to do with his price tag as well. So keep an eye out. Always look out for contracts as well to see what everyone's doing. Who we got in the chat here? Kai's in the house. Big up, Kai. So for some reason, Box is able to type, but no one else is able to type words. Kai, if you're wondering why you can't type anything, YouTube's having issues today, man. It's not my fault, I swear. There's nothing I could do about it. Big up, Box. See, he says, yo, it's working. Maybe it's working, you guys. Maybe test it out and see. So you went with Hackney. I went with Urenki. We both spent you spent 110 so far. I've spent 100 so far. Keep track of the math, guys. Math. Um, So 2 midfielders. Let us know what you guys think of our picks so far from that midfield overhaul. I'm probably going to stick with maybe Fletcher, Kone to kind of come in and rotate with Cobby a little bit for a while. So you kind of thinking that same thing?
Yeah.
Maybe drop Mount in there if we
Yep.
need
That's
to
how I
every
see
now and
it.
then.
Yeah, but he's injured all the time, unfortunately. So
Well, if he's fit and needs to rotate, and we need someone in a pinch, we can make it work. So I'm not going to
yeah.
bother with it. So I know some people probably just
Yep.
say we could play Leacha in there too if we need to in needs must. So I'll
Mhm.
move on to your next pick here. Do you need to build him up before I put him on the screen? Or are you good with me just throwing him up there?
Throw him up there.
All right, let's do it. Dylan's poaching. Hit me with it.
Poaching. You guys know I've talked about him before. Anthony from Burnley. Um, we need some left winger help. Cunha's good in a pinch. It's not really his best position. We've kind of seen that. He's got heart for days, but it's not his best position to attack. And so for left winger, somebody I think we can get on the cheap that could be a rotation option along with that because we can keep, Cunha could still go out there and do a shift. Um, Jaden Anthony, get him on the cheap. Burnley are probably going down at this point. So, let's see how this goes. If we look at some of his stats, he's in the top percentage for his position in the league with 6 goals, or at least among left wingers. And over half of his shots are on target. We saw that he dribbled well against us. Not the most accurate with some of his passes, but does create a fair amount of chances. He's had 24 created this season. The biggest thing for him is with his speed and some of his decision making, he gets dispossessed, but he does pick up fouls while he's in attacking areas, which against tired legs, if we throw him on as an impact sub, if he's good with that, I mean, Bruno's good to pick out people. We can always get some of our bigger guys up there to try to get some headers on. Burnley going down, we can get him for cheap. So I think that would be at least a good squad pickup there. So,
How old is Jaden Anthony now?
I don't remember actually.
Is he like? I
I
feel like
looked that up, but I
it's
don't
like
remember.
25, 26. I want
I
to
think
say I
it's
can't remember.
26. Yeah,
All right.
I feel
Yeah,
like
good
that's
pick.
right.
He looks good. I like Jaden Anthony. It's always fun to poach some of the relegation sides. We will be doing a stream towards the end of the season, poaching a couple players from each of those sides. Maybe Dylan just gave you a spoiler for his picks for that video. It was really hard. I was already kind of planning ahead for that. I'm looking at Burnley and I'm like, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling because Burnley are not great. But no, you guys, let us know what you think about
Yeah.
Dylan's pick for that left wing rotation option because I've got my own option. I also opted to go with a rotation option for the left wing. We are a bit light there. We sold Rashford, we sold Garnacho, and like you say, right now Cunha is first choice. It's where he's pretty much played since we've signed him, but he does tend to want to drift in centrally. It is where he scored his goal against Arsenal. It is where if you look at his heat map, he spends a lot of time there. I'm moving him to the 10 if Bruno leaves, and when Bruno leaves, I'm playing Cunha
Mhm.
as like a Gibbs White, as a sort of second Rooney kind of second striker. That's where I'm going to be playing him. But we do need a left wing option who can be trusted to start when needed, domestic cups, or even in Europe when we need it. I'm not paying the reported 100 million for Diamande. Sorry, guys, it's not going to happen. I again, sort of like the Caleb Urenki, I'm going for the guy who RB Leipzig are going to buy for peanuts when they sell Diamande or Antonio Nuso for 80 to 100 million. And I'm going with Bazumana Torre. Now, I did a video the other day on left wing targets. I did pretty much a deep dive on Torre in that video. So anyone who watched that will know a little bit more about him. But he's 20 years old, Ivorian. He's having a very good first season in the Bundesliga with Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim are third at the moment. 2 goals, 5 assists right now. He's rapid, like a top speed of about 36 kilometers an hour. He's the fourth fastest in the Bundesliga this season. He's direct, can cut in onto his right. He can put in a cross with his left, which is something I think is key because we have a lot of wingers who want to cut in and take shots. I've watched them the other day with Hoffenheim. He puts a lot of balls into the box with his left foot. Constantly a threat with his pace. It's going to keep fullbacks pinned back. It's going to drag defenders into wide areas as well. And that's going to create space in the channels for the guys like Shesko to run into and Bumo to run into, Bruno to operate in. That's part of a thing that goes, I think, underappreciated with attackers is when they can pull defenders where they want them to go, basically. You almost have them on a leash when you're that fast. Works hard off the ball to press the opposition as well, which is another trait I think will translate very nicely to the Premier League. Hoffenheim are holding out for a record fee for Torre after they paid just 8.5 million for him. 30-ish to 40 million with add-ons included is probably going to get it done. So I split the difference, called it 35. Other options for this one: Leo Sauer, Micah Goetz playing at Feyenoord and Ajax respectively. And Ajayi in the academy is looking better and better, but I don't think he's quite ready yet, unfortunately. But Basma Torre, 35 million. I am up to 135 million so far. Dylan is up to 130 million. So far I'm spending a little more than you. But Dylan, not to be outdone, said, hold my beer, because I'm all about the depth today, Dylan, because Dylan just going for 2 midfielders, and he also went for 2 left wingers as well. Tell me about how you copycatted my pick, Dylan. What was your pick here? Why did you opt for Torre as well? Dylan wants 2 backup left wingers.
So Torre for me would be the big thing with him, with not only with the pace and with his ability to create chances and cross. He's good defensively, or he has 87 recoveries and 13 clearances, which is good. We need the pace, especially if we're going to press and sit back to defend. But he's a young attacker, and I figure we could get him. We could get him relatively cheap. I think we might be able to get him a little bit better. I get the feeling Hoffenheim are going to fall back. And so I don't necessarily think they're going to be able to charge as much as they think they're going to.
Danny disagrees. Danny thinks he's going to cost 50.
I could see it, but I get the feeling that Hoffenheim are going to hit a wall and that they're going to tumble. Yeah. So if we could get them for a relatively good price here, I think that'll work just perfectly.
Yeah, I like Basma Torre a lot. Again, like I said, similar to Yankee, we want to go get these players before they go to the Leipzigs and stuff. It's just, you have to do that. It's okay to take that chance. Again, especially with someone like Yankee and Torre, who would be rotation options. Spending, 25, 30 million on the backup is good business, in my opinion, rather than going and spending 50, 60 million on someone who's going to rotate with Cunha. It's just not smart, especially when we have a lot of work to do in the summer. And so that's my rationale there. Box says it's going to cost 80. I don't think he's going to cost 80. Now, Hoffenheim, like I said, they do want a club record fee. I think their club record fee was like 37, 38 for Joe Linton. That's why I said 30 with maybe going to 40 with add-ons. I split the difference at 35, so it is what it is. But again, this is how much I'm willing to spend on him, and I think 35 million gets it done. So moving on, tell me about your next pick, Dylan. Oh, sorry, that was my pick. It is my turn, isn't it? Because you just did that. Yeah, cheated. So
it's your turn.
Right,
yeah.
My turn now. So I want to look at left backs because it's time for Luke Shaw to go. Even with Dorgu, who honestly, if Carrick stays, I think maybe he could play both left wing and left back. But even if that's the case, Luke Shaw needs to go. I want depth, and again, kind of like what you did with Jaden Anthony, I have my eye on an experienced rotation option who could be available for a bargain if Wolves go down, and that's Hugo Bueno. He's all over the news this past week after his wonder goal against Arsenal that led the charge for Wolves to claw back from 2 goals down. They drew that game 2-2. 23-year-old Spanish left back, reportedly being looked at by Spurs as well. I'm seeing a £20 million price tag around the news right now, with Wolves facing pretty much certain relegation, right? 25 is nothing. 20 is nothing. Even if you go to 25, I don't really think that's a problem, especially if we can get Shaw off the books. Saving his wages is pretty much going to be the equivalent of what we pay for this kid. It was a toss-up for me between Hugo Bueno and Malik Diouf. To be honest, I could still go either way. Bueno's numbers do show a little bit more promise than Diouf, though, and maybe with better players in the side like United compared to Wolves, his numbers will look better. But I'm also there. I mean, there's a lot of other options. If you wanted to go really big and play and stick with maybe Dorgu at left wing and go hard in the paint for a left back, I could see going and getting Lewis Hall from Newcastle. I think he's an absolute baller. I could also see if you wanted a lower cost option and maybe put some more money elsewhere. Ryan Giles from Hull City, 26-year-old, entering the final year of his contract. 8 assists in all comps this season. 12 assists when Ryan Giles worked with Carrick at Middlesbrough as well. He'd cost less than half of what Bueno would cost. So if you were budgeting, if we're trying to stay on budget and Anderson or somebody costs more, I would pivot and go to Ryan Giles and get him for 8 million probably. But Hugo Bueno, who I'm poaching from Wolves, is going to be my pick for left back. Dylan also opted for a left back, I believe. Let's see what Dylan went with. Dylan went completely
Mhm.
opposite direction. Tell us about this cat, Dylan.
All right, I get the feeling that we're going to go in the next couple of years with Dorgu and Leon as our left backs, and it's just going to take time to get them ready. So I'm looking more as a bit of a stopgap here, and somebody that's going to be good. He can go in right now and provide a lot of solidity on that left wing. That's going to be David Raum from Bayern, and through a release clause, he's got a release clause that comes active in the summer. Um, and the big thing is here, we need somebody that's not going to be a slight toe wiggle away from being out for 6 months, like Shaw is all the time. Because it just seemed him and Mount. It seems like any time they step wrong, they just something happens. Um, Now there's no guarantee that we could get him. He does seem happy, but he's coming up on the last year of his contract, and maybe he wants to experience something new. Maybe he wants to experience the Prem and be a little more have something to go for. So looking at his stats, he's got 3 goals, 4 assists, makes a lot of chances. He's created 65 chances, which isn't that hard at Bayern, especially when you have Harry Kane and others to target. Dribbles well. He wins a lot of duels, and he's good defensively. He's got 42 tackles and 24 interceptions. He's got 113 recoveries in the Bundesliga. Okay, so and he's not at Munich. He's at RB Leipzig. I'm looking at the jerseys wrong. Um, but yeah, so if he's interested in moving, that'd be great. I know he likes where he's at, but
Yeah.
this would be a step up. Shesko's there. He's played with Shesko. Maybe Shesko could put a word in for us, and we could
Yeah. They
get
linked
somewhere.
up a
So,
lot
but he'd
last
be a
season.
solid. Yeah, but he'd be solid. He'd be someone that could come in immediately and put a good shift in, and be someone we can depend on. So
I like David Raum way back, not this past summer, but the summer prior. I did a video on replacing Luke Shaw because he was just always injured. I was
mhm.
tired of it. But David Raum was featured in that video. I like David Raum a lot. I think he's a really good left back. Um, Obviously, what is he, 26, 27 now? Captain, I think, of RB Leipzig. So it's a big
Yeah,
ask to get him out of there, but he would be, like you're saying, someone that instantly comes in and it just completely replaces Shaw altogether. No, good shout.
yep,
I like them.
yep.
Um, so both of us opted for midfielders so far. Both of us opted for wingers. You went for a couple wingers. Like, do you have another? You have any more wingers on your list? I'm sure you've got a couple more. So we pretty midfield and left hand side heavy. So where are you at so far? You are at math is hard. You're at 130.
10, 30,
You're at 200.
200.
So you're at 200. All
Yeah.
right. So that was the limit here. 200. All right. I'm gonna add up mine in a second because I've got I'm going at the other end of the pitch now. So I went midfield, left wing, left back. I need a backup striker because I think we can say that Xerxes is, to me, is as good as out the door. Not only does he not offer enough aside from a bit of techers now and then, he was never really a striker to begin with. It doesn't really seem like he's getting a sniff in. An argument could be made that Mbumo Cunha can play as a 9 if we need to, but I think we could do with a backup out and out number 9. Someone who's going to play 15, 20 matches throughout the season, get a couple goals, can be relied upon to start if needed to as well to get some rest. Maybe we lock up, European League phase early on with a game or two to go. This person can come in and get some minutes and whatnot. Domestic cups, come on as a sub, start a couple matches here and there. I'm going with a player some of you may not be familiar with. Some of you might be like, who the F is this? I'm going with a player who's also worked with Michael Carrick before. So I'm going to be looking at Middlesbrough striker Tommy Conway. I have scouted him in the past. I don't remember when, so don't ask me when I did it. It was a very long time ago. But he's got 7 goals, 3 assists so far this season. He had 13 goals last season under Michael Carrick at Middlesbrough, 12 goals in 23-24, 12 goals in 22-23 for Bristol. He's basically getting double-digit goals in the last 3 seasons, which is and for me, for your backup striker, is a bonus. Like if you get double-digit goals from a backup, that's like Chicharito stuff. Chicharito is getting 14, 15 goals in a season. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And what I like about him is he's a good backup option, but he offers something different than Shesko. He is mobile, he's pacey, makes a lot of runs off the shoulders of defenders into the channels, into wide areas as well. He drags center backs out of position. He'll drop deep to kind of play a false nine-ish if you need to, a second striker role as well. Very similar to someone like Rooney, someone like Lacazette, someone like Martial in that regard. Really like that a lot. He contributes to the build-up as well. Always wants to get on the ball. He's got mentality. He's got work rate. He's a team player. He's a consummate professional. He presses high. He tracks back to help win the ball. Like I said, he's selfless. He will play anywhere you ask him to play. And that's the kind of attitude I really want in this dressing room right now. 12 to 15 million gets it done. And again, if he gets double-digit goals and a handful of assists in a season as a backup, that's easily like you're talking Mazraoui level bargain at that point. Other options for me include Lucas Nemecha at Leeds. He's another one I've looked at. 7 goals, 2 assists in just 7 starts. Final year of his contract coming up. Ideal. Ollie McBurney is another one, 29-year-old, having a really good season at Hull. He's got 13 goals, 6 assists and so far this season in the league. Man of the match recently with a goal and an assist against Derby. I also really like Dennis Undav at Stuttgart, 29-year-old, entering the final year of his contract. 13 goals in the league. 2 goals, 6 assists in the Europa League as well. Now people might remember him from Brighton. He's having a really good couple seasons under Stuttgart. So those would be other backup options. You can kind of see the kind of profile I'm looking at. So Danny likes Joy Parrott. Joy Parrott's also a good option. Do you like that I instantly knew what that meant, Danny? Yeah, Troy Parrott obviously breaking out with the international matches earlier in the season. He's another good shout as well. It's a question to be, would he be happy with a rotation role? Maybe. And he probably is that level to rotate. So he's a good shout too. So always up there. Again, if I didn't mention anybody, if you didn't mention him, it doesn't mean we don't rate them. It's just this is where we're going. If I go to a restaurant and get a steak and not a hamburger, it doesn't mean I hate hamburgers. It just means I wanted the steak. It is what it is. I don't know what Box is doing. He keeps putting the same emoji. So you also went with a striker as well for one of your picks because now everyone's like, Dylan, you already got 200 million. You already reached your limit. You don't get any more picks, buddy. Oh, what am I at so far? Hold on, let me add this up here. So we've got
You're
50,
at 170.
I'm at 170. All right, good deal. So I'm at 170. Dylan's at 200. Dylan, you've got something, and you've really gotten thinking outside the box for this one. I'm gonna swing it your way right now.
All right, guys. This is a nostalgia hit completely. But come on, he'd fill a good role. He doesn't have to play every week, especially with Shesko coming in there. But he's still playing at a high level, being at Brighton. We've seen what he does. Let's take a run at him. He's on a free. He's on 60 grand a week. We could probably give him 50. It'd be fine. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. We've seen him do very well in the Premier League, but especially he could come in and mold some of the attackers. Okay, so with Shesko, he could provide some experience, some things to look for. And wouldn't it be nice just to give Welbs a little better send off than he kind of got? So.
Yeah, and you know what? Screw it. Hire him as a striker coach when he retires in a year or two. I mean, that's it, right? Just bring him on. We're bringing out all the foreign people. We got Evans in there. Let's just bring on Fletcher's sticking around. Just do it, man.
Yeah.
Until Chio is ready, till Biancheri is ready. You've got Welbeck to kind of come in. He knows the club. I know you love Danny Welbeck. He's we talk about him all the time. You're not the only guy. There are a couple other United content creators who would have him back in a heartbeat. He loves a goal against us, so maybe he can turn around and help our strikers turn around and score some goals as well. So, no, there's always room for a bit of a.
If he gets romance. 5 to 10 goals, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean,
if he gets 5 to 10 goals and a few assists, great.
Who wouldn't love to see Danny Welbeck scoring a winner in front of the Stretford End in like an FA Cup match or something? For United, by the way, not against us.
Yeah. I think all of the United fan base would go from 6 to 12 at one point.
6 to midnight. Yeah, there's a bit of that in there. Yeah, so you've got 200 million on the nose. Danny Welbeck's in there. for free. Why not? And you know what? I don't even count that as like a Glazernomics signing because he's one of us. So it's not like it's Igalo or I think something like that, Veghorst. Um, Interesting stuff. So Dylan went a little bit of the Sean route. Obviously, he picked some players that I've talked about for a while. Hayden Hackney got really creative with his free agent when Danny Welbeck. You guys didn't see that one coming either. So Dylan was more me than I was this time. So I am at where am I at here? So we said what I'm at 170.
170.
I'm at 170, and normally you guys remember my rebuild from last year. Normally I would stop right here, but I kind of went rogue this season. I decided just to say F it. I didn't have this next guy on my list. I was all set, but and this is the thing. It's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself from the other day, but the more and more I read about it, the more and more I don't see DeLitt anywhere in the squad at all. The more and more I start to worry about DeLitt. He hasn't played since November. It does not bode well because even if he's back fit tomorrow, he's not technically back fit until probably the end of the next international break, really, if you think about it. Because I don't even think he's in full team training yet, DeLitt. So, with that in mind, in very un-Sean like fashion, I went down a very dark, very ruthless path. And in this alternate timeline, I've completely moved on from DeLitt. He's still in the squad, but I can't rely on him. It's like Shaw or Mount. I can't rely on him right now. I've also decided to let go of Maguire. We've already sold Shaw, so there's a couple of defenders gone, and I've brought in a new center back. Doesn't mean Maguire's bad, but I've just decided to capitalize on a market opportunity, get out ahead of the pack, and bring in someone that is instantly going to walk into this first team in place of DeLitt, instantly knows the Premier League. I went with Brighton again. I almost went with 23-year-old Toulouse center back Charlie Cresswell, but I opted for experience, and I went with Jan-Paul Van Hecke. I did go 5 million over budget. Sue me. I don't care. It's my show. I'll do what I want. Van Hecke, and you guys looking at that like 35 million, you're taking the piss. Van Hecke is entering the final year of his contract this summer. He's not renewing his contract. He's already made it clear he's not staying at Brighton. He's available. He was available reportedly for around 40 million recently. Nobody did that, which was what Spurs were apparently going to bid. That was in January. So now you go 6 months on as we head into the summer. We'll be able to get him for even less than that, especially again since he refused to sign a new contract. I think 35 million gets it done. And I think we need to wrap that up now to avoid a bidding war. You get rid of Maguire's wages, you get rid of Shaw's wages as well. You're pretty much halfway there. This also prevents maybe the need to hold on to Maguire for another year as well. Van Hecke is 25 years old. He's good in the air. He's a leader at the back. Remember, I did that scouting report on him like 3 years ago when I was doing that blog before I was doing all this. I like Van Hecke a lot. I think he's an excellent defender. And for 35 million for a 25-year-old in the prime, knows the league, I think that is one of the best bargains you're going to see right now. So I went dark, I went ruthless, I went rogue. I don't care. I just want a strong team. So I did go 5 million over, but other players you could think of, Antonio Silva at Benfica is also going to be on the final year of his contract this summer, so keep that in mind. But we got Licha with Heaven on the left. We've got Van Hecke, Euro on the right side of defense. I think, to me, that's a nice little four set here. Danny likes this a lot. You guys know that I do like Van Hecke a lot. So if you want
That's a
to
good choice.
if you want to penalize me for going 5 million over, do it. It's fine. I don't care. Boxing likes Van Hecke too. I'm glad that you guys like that on. So you went 200 on the nose. I went 205, give or take some add-ons and maybe some fees we might get for some sales here and there. We're probably going to be getting rid of a couple of the academy players too, who just guys like Wheatley, Scanlon. I think some of these guys, Ennis, are probably out the door as well. So we'll probably get some fees for that as well. So, and then I'm already looking a year out, when it's time to replace Mazraoui, for instance, who's going to be, 28, 29 by then, I'm going to be locking in guys like Milan Van Ewijk from Coventry, who's got 7 assists this season. This is his best season so far. He's entering the final year of his contract. Elouadi at Genk, 24-year-old, really good right back. 7 goals, 3 assists in all comps. Modern fullback as well. Alberto Costa at Porto, doing very, very well. I don't want to go super young when it's time to replace Mizraoui because we do have Kamison, Montato coming through as
Mhm.
well. I want to sell Dallo. I would have preferred to sell Dallo last summer and get Kyle Walker-Peters on a free as rotation, but that didn't happen. Eventually, we're going to have to replace Bruno, get a playmaking number 10, someone like Nico Paz, Carretzas at Genk, Rodrigo Moura at Porto. These are all options as well. I'm going to put a poll in the chat for you guys here. Who had the better summer spending spree? Sean or Dylan? Wrong answer.
Just automatically goes to Sean.
All right, you guys, let us know because I'm going to put up Dylan's match day squad with his picks in here. So this is what Dylan's squad would look like. Yellows are the players we have in the starting spots. The blues are the subs, and the whites are the new signings that Dylan brought in. Do you have anything to say about your squad here, Dylan?
I mentioned this to you on the before we got started. It's like I get the feeling Mount's going to be out quite a bit, and I feel like Cunha will probably slide over into that middle part at times too. Maybe for like if Mount's out and they're going to rest Bruno, Cunha slots in there, or maybe they move Kabi up. But yeah, it's going to depend. So I think there's going to be a little play on that left wing and in the midfield. But yeah, that's when I kind of looked at that, I was like, yep, that's exactly how I was looking at that. So.
Yeah, I mean, we are. You can see when he laid out here just maybe how light we are going to be here, guys. Make sure you vote who had the better summer. So pretty much is the same. You got a lot of wingers. You've got 6 wingers in your side. um, Midfield is still a little light though, with as a Cobby rotation option, someone who's a little bit more of a creative like a ball carrier. But I do think that Hackney can do both roles. Uranki can do both roles as well, so I do like that a lot. So that's Dylan's squad. This is what my squad would look like. Very similar. Obviously, Conway instead of Welbeck, Torre over on the left. We got Anderson, Uranki, Bueno, and Van Hecke instead of Delit because I went completely rogue this this one. But vote for which of us you think got the best pick. So far, only 2 votes in right now.
It's not mine. I didn't vote, guys.
I want to see you guys vote. Only 2 votes. A lot of you guys watching. 26 watching at the moment. 32 watching. Vote for who had the best squad. I'll put Dylan's back up for a second. This is the wrong one though. I don't know why I'm bothering here, but so Dylan got himself. Don't vote for Dylan just because you like Welbeck and you're being all nostalgic. That's cheating. Dylan, I see you, Dylan. I see what you're doing. You're trying to appeal to the romance in the fan base.
I'm a history
Whatever.
teacher.
I'm trying to appeal to the Premier League proven squad crowd out here. Interesting picks. Looking back on your picks, is there any that you would do differently? Anybody that anybody that I picked that maybe you didn't think of, vice versa?
So I did look at center backs, and I was like, I don't. Nobody, because I was under the impression that Delict's coming back and he'll be better. But your argument was like, man, that Van Hecke would have been a good pick. That would have just been a good option there.
I wasn't even thinking about center backs until just recently because we pushed this episode back a couple weeks now. Had we done this episode when we originally were going to do it would have looked completely different. I would have had Eric Martel on there as a free agent instead of Caleb Urenki. I would have had some other picks in there. Maybe someone I would have had like Somerville probably on the left hand side. Maybe Doof as left back. I might not have even had a center back, but it's funny how things change. This is why I don't envy directors of football and whatnot. Guys, keep voting for whoever got theirs best. I'll put Dylan's back up. Nope, there's no point. And I think that it's just funny how things change in football. Again, I don't have anything against Delit. I'm not giving up. I'm just you got to be ruthless sometimes. I feel like, and I even said this is very uncharacteristic for me, but I think that just seeing what we've seen, you guys know I was still apprehensive of him when we signed him because of his injury history in football in general. And I'm not calling him injury prone, but this back issue is concerning for me. It's been what now? Almost 4 months, almost coming up here. It's been what, December, January, almost. So it's been 3 months now. And again, if he's back fit, he might not be back fully fit even in the squad till the end of this next international break, which is just it's almost the end of the season at that point. So um, it's time for us to move on. Get rid of Maguire, get rid of Shaw, get rid of Dallo, stick with Mizraoui, stick with Camason, and go from there. We both have a couple of youngsters in here. Obviously, we've got Camason, I've got Vitek, Fletcher, Kone, Lacey as well. It's There's a lot of youngsters coming through, and I think they're on the cusp. Camison's probably the closest one from
Yeah.
the academy in terms of that right back. So far, Dylan, you're winning. 5 votes. You guys keep voting. I know there's a lot of you in here. Just go ahead and click my name. It's fine. I'm I will
No,
I will cancel the
nostalgia
channel if
hit
I don't win.
everyone. Nostalgia hit.
Yeah, it's just a cheap tactic, man. I hope you're. How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself?
Oh,
um, but guys, I don't think you can type yet. I don't think, unfortunately. I'm sorry that YouTube decided to crap out today, you guys. I have
yeah,
no idea what.
that's odd.
It is a YouTube issue. I googled it, but you'll have to let me know in the comments on the video after the fact what your signings would be, what you agreed with, what you didn't agree with in terms of us, anything that you think we got completely wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want to know. But keep voting. We'll keep this open for a little while longer because I want to make sure that Dylan doesn't win. Only 5 votes, though, you guys. That's disgrace. You guys got to keep voting. I know there's a lot of you in here. But let us know. And let us know, too, if you think, 200 million is not enough. We just showed you that it can go a long way. Do you think that needs to be more? Do you don't think we need to spend that much? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. So we got while we're here, while we're letting everybody vote for me, what do you feel about the Palace game coming up? We could talk a little bit about that real quick.
I feel good about it, which is always a bad thing because because when I'm confident, that's when things start to go on. And this is exactly the sort of trap game. Palace got a 1-0 win over Wolves, but and that shouldn't mean anything. However, we've walked in that we kind of did this against West Ham, where we walked in and kind of figured we'd just be able to walk right through them. And you could see on the players' faces that they were a little confused and that the passages weren't opening up and things like that. And we know Palace is going to sit back a little bit because they need points. They're still going to try to get out and they're still going to press, but it's not going to be as it was in the first match when we played them at Selhurst. So this is if we don't walk out at least 2-1 or 2-0 victors, it's going to be really bad. Like if we lose 1-0, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, I can't see us losing 1-0. I can't see us not scoring a goal. Boxings, we need to spend 300 million. Interesting. I don't know where we're getting that extra money from. Maybe he's counting like Champions League revenue. But yeah, remember when we get Champions League again, everybody gets a 25% pay increase. So that does kind of kill it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we still need sponsors for the sleeve. We still need a training ground sponsor, so we're still waiting on that cash. But we kept it pretty conservative, I think. But yeah, as far as Palace go, obviously we'll have a preview for that one later on this week. What's today? Wednesday. Probably do that Friday. As I think that kickoff's on Sunday, so keep a lookout for that one.
I think it's a Saturday.
Is it? Hold
Let
up.
me check.
Verification required here. Hold up. I think that's. I want to say it's Sunday. It is Sunday. It is at 9 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh, never
March
mind. Don't listen to
1st.
me, guys. Don't listen to me.
Don't listen to Dylan, but you guys are listening to him on his picks, though. I see how it is.
It's
You
all
guys,
about
just
the Welbecks. Go
traitors,
well.
all of you. You guys are literally all on the Welbeck train here. Because you guys know that the club would love that if he came back. They would like Pogback. It'd be Welbeck like
Mm-hmm.
for weeks and weeks and weeks. I see you guys. Dylan knew what he was doing there. He went sneaky tactics. Some sneaky tactic, man. I expected better from you. Um, So yeah, Palace. We know what to expect from Palace. That's a lot of vertical balls. Adam Morton, I've got some graphics for you guys. He plays a lot of vertical passes, and so we need to look out. But they play them. It's not straight up and down necessarily. It's diagonals. It's into the channels. Their wingbacks are going to get really, really, really involved. Mitchell and Munoz. Sar is a concern for me. They've got a couple injuries, so that could help us as well. But Sar is a concern for me because he's exactly the kind of forward that causes us problems. Pacey, agile, mobile, playing in that half space because they're kind of playing with a two-ish, but he also kind of plays behind Strand Larson. So we got to look out for that. Strand Larson can very easily win a ball, lay it off to Sar, and we in
Yeah.
space because we've been done by that exact same kind of combination over and over again this season. So we need to be on it. Obviously, we'll preview that one a little more heavily. Would you have thoughts on that?
I was going to say, well, now here's the question. Do you think we start Shesko or do you keep him as the impact sub?
I mean, we talked about this in my match review, my three thoughts video of the Everton match. Because Shesko, what more does Shesko have to do
Yeah.
to get a start? Now, again, I hear all arguments. Doing what is working is working, so why change it? He's clearly having an impact. I just think that, and obviously, we'll never know. Like if you started him, if he would have scored, or we'll never know. But we've seen that he came on and he got 3 out. He really should have had a hat trick. Cunha
Mhm.
should have found him earlier before his goal. He didn't. And if he had made a better decision in that 1v1 with Pickford, he could have had a
He
goal
could have
there.
at least had a second. Yeah.
He could have minimally had two. He definitely should have had another opportunity to get maybe a hat trick there. So he's getting into positions, and you saw how it changed the game just having a 9, right? Now we'd get the ball in those similar positions and there'd be nobody there. And that's a problem. And so I would start him. I like just having a 9 on the pitch, and I probably would bench Ahmad for this one. But I said the exact same
I would
thing
too.
ahead of Everton. So would you change
Ahmad,
it? Like, go for it.
yeah, Ahmad for me, just he seems like he's a little off right now. I don't know if he's pressing and trying. Like he came off Afcon, and the first few matches from Afcon, he looked really good. And I don't know if he's pressing to try to keep that form up. But he's just a little bit off, and I think he would do better coming in, kind of like what Chesko's been doing, coming in on that right side. And when people are tired and maybe we're ahead and Palace are trying to attack, he could help out defensively and spring some of the attack. So, but yeah, I don't know. I would start Chesko at this point. I think you got to give him a chance, and I think this is the perfect chance to do that.
Yeah, I think he's going to get chances, and we've seen that when he gets the chances, he's odds are he's going to have a decent chance of putting it away.
Mm-hmm.
Even half chances. That goal against West Ham, that was a half chance. Like
Mm-hmm.
one ball in the box on the half volley, and he just guides it home.
Yep.
Like that's class. Like I know people like Simon Jordan or even Roy Keane are going to be like, well, that's his job, but it's like you've there's how many strikers are making that shot? Like that's a brilliant shot. The technique, the contact, the placement, the movement, like to meet that ball. I yell it so many times when I'm playing with people, like meet it, meet it. You have to. It's not just about standing and waiting for a ball. Sometimes you do have to meet the ball. You have to like watch the flight of the ball and meet it, and not necessarily meet it necessarily, but meet it in the best spot, even if that's full volley in the air, half volley on the bounce, even right when it hits the ground. If you want to just keep it low, that's the way you got to do it. You got to meet it sometimes where it is. Even with passes too. Passes are not like I watched the game earlier, like Benfica. I watched like Atalanta, like Dortmund. How many times these players are just waiting for the pass to get there, and it gets
Mm-hmm.
intercepted because they're not willing to just take a couple steps to meet that ball, and it's unfortunate. It happens, but I think the fact that even like professionals are doing it makes me feel a little better. But what's your score prediction for this one then coming up?
Okay, I'm going to be optimistic. Knock on wood. 3-1 United. I
Mm,
think we're going to see Shesko. I think Shesko might get two,
yeah.
and I think Bruno get an assist or something, and then I think I'm not sure. Maybe Mbumo, maybe Bruno gets another goal, but
Yeah. I'll go 2-0 United. I think another clean sheet is in the cards. I think we've been a little sloppy recently, especially against Everton. I thought we were horrible. And we need to clean it up. I hope that during this international break that's coming up, we think about maybe doing some friendlies because we did not look match fit at all against Everton. It looked like we were on spring break. Like
yep.
it looked like we were all hungover. Like, it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed watching that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, a couple more minutes to get your votes in. Who had the better summer overhaul, Dylan or Sean? These are my picks. These were Dylan's picks. Um, and you guys let us know. Only 6 votes so far. I know more of you are watching that. So let's get those likes up too. Let's get the subscriptions going if you guys are new and you like being part of this, remember, Legends members, you do have the option of joining in on the Kickabout as well. Tonight it probably would have made it a lot longer if you had come in with 5 or 6 picks, but that's all good. Starting 11 and Legends members do get access to the WhatsApp group. Starting 11 and Legends members also get to make suggestions for scouting reports, for what if episodes, and for questions from a boot. We'll do another one of those soon as well. So lots of ways to get involved in the channel as a member. It's my way of thanking you guys for showing your love and contributing to the channel's growth. Obviously, we got to 3K while we were live the other day. We are now on the road to 4K. And don't forget, it is 20% off in the United vs. Everybody store right now for the next couple of days. I did put a new design in there. I wonder if it's they always have to approve it first. So it is in there. So let me go put it up for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. And then we will go from there. So I will bring up my new design. Let me take this off the screen for a second here. So can you guys see that?
Oh, that's a nice one.
I'll zoom in on the design itself so you can see what it looks like.
Nice.
So that's the newest design in the
That's really
United Everybody store. You can get it on a hoodie, you can get it on t-shirts and stuff. So everything's 20% off right now. As you can see at the top of the page, 3 days left for 20% off. But I did finally go ahead and put a Shesko start in there. So keep an eye out, you guys, for the sales. I try to give you guys sales all the time if I can, but it is 20% off everything at the moment. So, oh, look at that. The right pick is still up on the screen. Look at that. Dylan, any final thoughts on Palace, on Everton, on your cheating tactics to get the majority of the votes before I let you get going tonight?
I know it's hard to accept defeat, Sean, but
I'm going to be closing the poll here, so it does look like Dylan wins with 67% of the votes. Only 6 people voted though, so whatever. You
yeah,
guys
that's
suck.
yeah. Hey, guys, if you watch the video later when the comments are up, feel free to throw in your vote then too.
Yeah, feel free to find
how
another
the
channel. I'm done.
poll, yeah,
I give
post
up.
poll vote goes.
Everything's done.
Hey, Everton,
I'm crashing out.
Everton, that was one of those wins, those matches you just got to win, and we figured out a way to do it. We dug deep. Lamans was immense.
Yeah.
So again, shout out to him. We're gonna need to not look like we just got off a spring break for Palace. I know Palace are in a bit of a rut of form, but we're gonna have to get up for that match, because Palace are definitely, they're gonna look at that and be like, okay, we're going to Old Trafford. Like, let's make sure we're ready to go. So, but yeah, we should come out winners. So let's keep that going.
Yeah, I would like to be talking about a clean sheet. I think Senna Lamans deserves a clean sheet. Obviously we got one against Everton. We could do it against Everton. We do it here. Now, it's going to be a little different. There's going to be a lot more numbers in that final third with their wing backs, but I do think that also leaves them exposed. The key is just going to, if we get that ball, Lamans needs to release it. Somebody's got to be on their bike in those wide areas and get that ball forward. Keep it going forward too. We saw Shesko can bust a gut, so just get bodies up there, man.
Yeah. And that's where Shesko being in the middle, if we use him as a target man, if he can lay it off, and we can get Bruno, and we can get Mbumo and Cunha on the wings going. I mean, that could open up a lot of space. So
yeah, we just got to use it. We got to move the ball quicker. I thought we were slow, we were sloppy, and it's not for the first time, and so we just got to do better. But cool, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys for stopping by again. If you haven't yet done so, please like the video, please subscribe, please consider checking the memberships. It's the best way to get involved, but it's also a great way to support the channel. It does make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And again, like I said, 20% off everything in the United vs. Everybody's store. Another way to support the channel. The stuff's not super expensive, but I try to, if there's any questions you guys have about anything, the way it fits or anything, let me know. I can do what I can. But for the most part, sorry that YouTube is crashing out tonight, you guys. No live chat functionality. It is not my thing. It's a YouTube thing. I Googled it. It's just a bummer. It wasn't letting me put some stuff up earlier before we even went live, and so it's kind of maybe a warning side, but I'm still glad that you guys were able to get involved. Sorry I couldn't decipher all of your emojis other than Danny's parrot one, because we all knew what that one was, but I thought maybe it was a Jimmy Buffett reference, but no, we all knew it was Troy Parrott. So, but let us know in the comments after the fact, who won, who lost. Dylan got most of the votes, but not very many people voted. So if we're going by sample size, I mean, I basically won. So I mean, anything else, we'll we'll let you guys go. Take it easy. Keep a lookout for the Palace preview later on this week. Probably looking at Friday. And until then, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will talk to you guys later.
Have a good one, everybody.
We'll close it with box. Here we go.